Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome along to your afternoon rabble here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast, also part of the Rabble Network and the TalkSport Fan Network. We've been a part of the TalkSport Fan Network now for about, 5, 6 months, something like that. So a big shout out to those at TalkSport for helping to support the channel. Thank you very much. I am joined today by Mark. Mark, how are you?
Yes, I'm all right. I was on night shift, so I'm a little bit strapped, but needs must, so I'm here and happy and good to go. What about yourself?
Please don't ever use the word strapped again. There's this thing called rabble out of context, which features me quite heavily, Brian, Wilf, and now you, and Trev as well, probably. Charles right in with a super chat. Thank you, Charles. Thought Mark was the lawn muncher there. I can confirm, Mark, you're not a vegetarian.
No, that's why I shaved the beard off to avoid confusion.
Yes,
No,
and
I'm
Lyndon,
really
I knew Lyndon was going to run with that, and I knew Geordie was going to jump in on it. You've got, do you know what? It's sad, Mark, that you've got to be extremely careful what you say nowadays because our comment section is just disgusting.
I can see it. It's funny. It's all right. If it makes him happy, mate, it's good.
No, don't make them happy. Never strive to make people like Geordie and Lyndon and Charles happy. The rest of them, brand new, brilliant. It's not an X account, Cammy, and it will not be an X account unless somebody wants to start it up. That's how. See what I mean? Never get the Greek coming in. See what I mean? It's
filthy minds, mate. That's what it is. Filthy
minds, but we'll always accept the support, Dode. So thank you very much.
That means tired. I'll just clear that up for you. Nothing else. Nothing is strapped onto me. I'm just tired.
You've just said that again. Just say that again. Unbelievable. Right, okay. Right, let's get in it. Folks, get your comments in. I've got a few things to say with regards to last night and with regards to some of the reaction to it. And I've put some stuff on X as well, or Twitter. Is it just X? We're just calling it X now, aren't we? I think we're past the Twitter thing. So I've put some stuff on X as well. But Mark, your thoughts on Rangers progressing to the next round where we will play Victoria Pilsen in a 2-match. It's normally a 1-match shootout, but I'm going to call it a 2-match shootout to get into the playoff round for the Champions League.
Yeah, I'm happy with the result last night and over the 2 legs. That was the whole aim of the games, is to get through, and we've done that. It wasn't the prettiest. We were under the cosh a bit last night, I think, but they didn't really have much quality. When I was watching it, I wasn't really worried that we were going to get beat, if you know what I mean. When I was watching it, I thought they're pretty decent, but they seem to be lacking a bit of teeth up front, if you know what I mean. So I wasn't overly worried last night. I thought we were going to get through. So I'm looking forward to the next game. I don't really know much about this lot apart from on Football Manager. I've only ever seen them really. I've heard of them before, but I've never really. Have we ever played them before? I don't think so. Have we? Once, maybe?
I'm not 100% sure, actually.
My memory serves me right. I think we might have played them once before back in the day, but I'm not 100% sure.
You've just absolutely put me on the spot there, because that's probably something that I should know.
No, I don't know. I should be the same. I think we might have done, but I'm not 100% sure. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really know a lot about them. Servette, obviously, we played them last year or the year before, was it? So, but teams change on a yearly basis. Like, we're totally different from what we were last year already. Do you know what I mean? So you can't really read into a lot about their past. So I'm looking forward to this next game.
Right, let's get to the elephant in the room, shall we? Right, so Colin, don't think much of the video title, by the way. Of course, we're happy we got through, but we're allowed to be upset with that performance. And Ross Dixon, surely you don't want us to be happy with the 2 performances. Our front three is worse than last season. We want to believe that when he has Danilo and Dill in the team, there is no progress. Right, now this might come back to bite me on the arse. And if it does, it does. If it does, it does. Right? But that comment there, for Ross, there is no progress. We've just beaten a team we've never beat before. Right? We've just beaten a team that we've never actually beat over 90 minutes before, right? Yeah. We've got a brand new manager, we've got a brand new board. Everything's changing around the football club. And we're through to the next round of the Champions League. We've guaranteed Europa League participation in the league phase as a minimum, right? Who was expecting this Rangers team to go out and perform like Barcelona of 08, right? I'm going to have this moan, and then see come Saturday, if it bites me in the arse, it bites me on the arse, right? But I think some of the reaction to Rangers going through, some of the comments that I've seen have been absolutely outrageously stupid. And I'm not usually like this, and I apologise for being a bit grumpy, right? But we've just beaten Panathinaikos over 2 legs rather comfortably. Yes, they had chances, but they didn't take them. It's football. You don't take your chances, you don't win. We took our chances. As soon as they scored last night, we went straight up the other end and done what we had to do and scored a goal. It was never going to be vintage. It was never going to be fantastic. It was never going to be spectacular. But pre-season's just finished. We've not even played the first game of the season yet. And already people are saying, Russell Martin's tactics are crap. Russell Martin's this, Russell. I didn't want Russell Martin as the Rangers manager. But do you know what he is? And do you know what? He's just got us through a European tie that was extremely tricky. No matter what way you want to look at it, we're through. We're through and we won. I understand that, Mark, there's this worry about we never really progress in the league. Celtic always win the league. We always find a way to screw ourselves out of winning the league. We don't win enough cups. And I get there's scar tissue there. There's scar tissue there for me, right? And there certainly is things that need to change, and there's loads of things that need to improve, right? But for God's sake, Mark, we got through, mate.
I can understand the opinion to a point. You know what I mean? But the main aim of last night and last week's game was to get through, which we've done. It wasn't vintage performances. But like you already said, and like I said earlier, their finishing was terrible. I wasn't really worried. So that's not our fault if they can't put the ball in the back of the net. We done our job. It wasn't finished, like you say. We've got a new manager, new style, some new players. It's going to take a little bit of time. I'm quite happy. Not happy with the performance, but I'm happy that we progressed. But people obviously are entitled to have their opinions that it's not working because it isn't the finished article. And I don't think anybody should expect it to be the finished article. Now, we've not even played the first league game. The pre-season, we had, 2 games in front of fans. And then we've just beaten Panathinaikos over 2 legs to get through. So, like you say, guaranteed Europa League stage football. So I'm quite content. My focus, obviously, I want us to do well in Europe, but my main focus is the league and the cups. Domestic success is what we need. It's what we've been starved of the last 15 years. So I can understand people, and they've got the right to have their opinion, but I'm a bit more relaxed on it. I thought we done well. It wasn't great, the performances, but we managed to win, and that's the most important thing. Who's through to the next round? Us. So that's it.
And yeah, look, right, and I'll say fair enough, right? If we go and play Motherwell on Saturday and we draw or we get beat and we play pathetically, then I'll turn around and go, yep, do you know what? Okay, we need to don't panic yet, but we need to really start moving things along. Yeah. If we go and we get a 1 or 2-0 win and we play terribly, we've won and we move on. If we get to November, December, right, and we're still scraping wins and the philosophy's not working and the play's terrible and the football's crap, then yeah, absolutely, hand up, not good enough. And it's not going to be what we need. And if we go and we play against Celtic and we try to play this way and we get demolished, hand up, not working, right? But it's so early, Mark. So early. Do you know what I think it is? I think I'm just getting really bogged down and fed up with constant criticism and constant negativity. Negativity and criticism when it's needed, yes. But negativity and criticism just for the sake of it because you want to be the one who can go in 3 or 4 months' time if it hasn't worked. Look at me, I was right.
I told you so, yeah. Yeah, it's a wee bit... I'd like to go back to people obviously are entitled to their opinion. They follow the team, we follow the team. Everybody's got their own opinions, but I mean, I think a little bit of patience is needed. If you look at it, it's a new manager, new style, new team. We're playing totally different from the last, I don't know, God knows how many years. So what we need to do is just give it a little bit of time. I've seen things that I like in the style that we're trying to play over the last four games. And then I've seen some things that I'm not overly keen on. But I mean, it's part of that. You've got to trust the process and give the manager a bit of time until he proves you otherwise. Do you know what I mean? I'm quite calm, like I said, I'm quite relaxed. I think we're going to be all right this year, if I'm being honest myself. But everybody's entitled to be negative if that's how they want to be. But I'm not in that boat myself. I'm more on the confident side.
Yeah, and John Hall's maybe got a point. It's evident that too many want Russell Martin to feel what's that about. Look, he might have a point. I don't think it is that. I don't think, look, no Rangers supporter wants any manager to actually go out there and fail, right? No Rangers supporter does. Of course we don't. We all want to be proved wrong. I just think there's too many people who are jumping on the, it's not going to work. Look at that performance. If they had scored, if they had took their chances, they could have scored 6 or 7, but they didn't take their chances, and we did, and we went through. And there was some good bits of play in there. Gassama's looking like a right player, a right good player, by the way, who could be excellent for us this season. Is there questions to be asked over the defence? Yes, there absolutely is. Is Giga, Fernandez and Suter good enough to go over a full league season for us? Probably not. Maybe, probably not. Are we going to bring in another defender? Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. The midfield, I think once it starts gelling, Mark, I think there's a right good midfield in there. Up front, Danilo needs to up his game. He's done well in pre-season, but he needs to up it when it matters in competitive games. But I think once you add Gassama in there, we're looking at another winger. We've got Finlay Curtis coming through. We've still got Cortez there. We've got Dessers, who was a top goal scorer in the league last season. I think there's enough surrounding this Rangers team with the new ownership, with the money being brought into the football club, the fact that we've already got through a round in Europe. I think there's enough there for us to maybe just take a step back and go, look, it's not perfect right now. It's absolutely not perfect right now. There's so much to improve in this team, but there's something there that we can take and we can build on. Why not look at that rather than Russell Martin's rubbish? Russell Martin's terrible. He's never going to get the job done. Look at this player. Look at that player. Discuss them individually, absolutely. And me and you are going to discuss Tav and Aarons and Jeff Day and Yilmaz. We're going to discuss the win-backs. You can take little portions and discuss it, but for God's sake, don't just jump straight to, well, it's not going to work.
No, you don't want to take a brush to it and sweep it and say it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? I did not want Russell Martin in the slightest. I was absolutely spewing when he got the job. But I accepted it, and now I'm just looking to see what he can achieve. And the early signs, I'm like I say, I'm pretty content with how it's going. I can see what he's trying to do, and I like the idea. I think we just lack a little bit of quality in key positions. Like you went through the team, I think the midfield's the strongest part of the team. Definitely the strongest part of the team, and it's only going to get better. We definitely need an experienced centre-back, and we definitely need somebody up front. Whether we'll get them or not is a different story, but we're still trying to get deals over the line, so let's wait and see what happens there. But I think I'm more of a glass half full type guy, not half empty. So some people are the opposite, and obviously all they see is the negatives. But I think just a bit of patience and give it a little bit of time. Wait until the first month is over, i.e. the league season, and see where we're sitting then, and then judge it. And then if you start to see things in a pattern of decline or poor results, then you can start to maybe worry a little bit. But I'm like I say, I'm a half full type guy, so I'm more confident that we're going to be all right. It just needs a bit of time and a little bit more experience, I think, is what we're lacking. We've got a lot of good young quality players we've brought in. Gassama, he looks like a steal for the money we've got. So
yeah, an absolute steal. An absolute steal.
If he can continue, obviously wingers go through peaks and troughs, but if he can continue on the form he is now, I think we've won a prize there. But I think let's Iron Blue. He sums it up in his comment. With some people, if Panathinaikos had scored the 50 shots that they got, they would have won it. Obviously, I mean that's the whole point in the game. If you don't score, you don't go through. So
100%, mate. 100%. And I didn't want to come out being all brash and aggressive. I do apologise.
Sometimes it's required.
And can I just say a big thank you to Waterboot72, who has been a member now for 6 months. Afternoon, folks, and I think he's talking to you there, Mark. So thank you for sticking about Waterboot for 6 months. Sticking about. That fried my brain there. And I disagree with this though, and I don't know if maybe Dode Greek means it in a different way, and you can write in, Dode, and tell me. Support doesn't include criticism. Yes, it does. Support does include criticism, but I think just to criticise for the sake of criticising is wrong. But again, and I'll repeat myself, if we go and play against Motherwell on Saturday and we're all over the place and we're shocking and we don't get the win or we scrape a 1-0, then the conversation can continue about, right, okay, what's actually going on here? But it's only the first league game of the season. So we shall wait and see. But Dode, thank you very much for your support. He's also put another comment in, Mark, and I asked this last night. And I don't know if it's just my bias, because I really don't like the BBC. Right? I just don't like them. I actually contacted them about 2 years ago, I think it was. And I says, look, can we do something around fan podcasts and get fan podcasts together and get a proper debate about Scottish football, start up a show and do a proper debate about Scottish football? Never got back to me, right? But that's not why I dislike them. I dislike them for the obvious reasons. But Dodd's saying, I blame the BBC commentators. What was that about? Now, tell me if I'm putting 2 and 2 together here and getting 47,000, right? But I genuinely felt the commentary last night, they were willing us to get beat. They were willing us to concede a penalty or concede a goal. They were just willing. That Liam McLeod? I'm sure it's Liam McLeod, the guy's name is. I've never heard a guy so excited when Panathinaikos scored. Honestly, Mark. And again, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. Maybe I'm not seeing it correctly. I just felt as if they were willing us to get beat last night.
Yeah, I watched it on the BBC as well for my sins. It seems that they sort of revel in the fact, laying on thick, that we were under the cosh from Panathinaikos and everything's it's all one-sided towards them. But I try and take a step back from that sort of thing. I try and listen to it and be fair. But if they're not Rangers fans, fine. But there should be a level of neutrality there. If you don't support any of the teams. Even if you do support the team, if you're a national broadcaster, you should be neutral and unbiased to as much as you can be when you're on the TV. But yeah, I got the same sort of I got the same sort of feeling that they were kind of jumping on the Panathinaikos bandwagon and everything was all pumped up for them. You can sense it. It's not like you can't hear it. I'm just like, that's why I don't tend to watch BBC's coverage of anything Rangers related, because it's no I don't find it unbiased and neutral, if I'm being honest, is what I'll say on it.
What I will say, however, right, just very quickly, is I've never watched Celtic in Europe in a qualifier on the BBC, or I've never watched Celtic qualifier, to be honest with you. But I've certainly never watched it on the BBC, so I don't know if they're the same there. I don't know if it's the same sort of commentary or whatever. So I need to put my hands up and say I don't know. All I know is that I thought the commentary last night was really poor. I thought
sorry mate, just to jump in. Maybe for that, get that unbalanced view. Maybe you should torture yourself by watching a game.
Nope, absolutely not. You couldn't pay me to watch Celtic unless they're playing Rangers. You couldn't pay me to watch them. But yeah, I just think that Liam McLeod's a really poor commentator as well. And Stephen Thompson, so boring, ridiculously boring. A guy who's supposed to be a Rangers supporter. Nah, sorry, I wasn't having it. I wasn't having the commentary last night at all. Anyways, let's move on to the debate then that we were kind of having last night on the reaction, Mark. And as I've just started the show by saying the criticism's ridiculous, right? So I'm going to be slightly hypocritical here, and I'm going to jump on the kind of criticism bandwagon for 2 minutes. Max Aarons or Aarons or Aarons or whatever you want to call him at left back for me, Mark. I've now seen it a couple of times, and I really don't think it suits him. I know he's only played there 10 or 12 times in his career. It really doesn't suit him. And from what I've seen of Tav in the opening 2 games, he's not up to speed yet, Tav. There's a few players who aren't, but he's certainly not up to speed. And that tiny wee cameo that we've seen for Aarons at right back, where he's involved in the build-up of the goal, I want to see more of that. And I think, and I don't know about you, mate, but I felt when Jeffy came on, I felt it kind of balanced out the defence a little better.
Yeah, 100%. When Jeffy came on, you seen a difference. Aarons isn't a left back. He can cover there, but you see every time he tries to cut inside because it's not his strong foot. So he's not going to give you his best performance. He's pushed it on the left. And I don't see why we've brought him in to push him out on the left when Tavernier, as much as I like the guy, and he's done his best for the club and that, and you can't deny his stats. I think it's time to push him out the team. Maybe have him in the squad, but Aaron should be the starting right back. But then I think that's because we lack a bit of depth. Like I go back to that depth and quality, I think we lack a bit. So I think Russell Martin's just fitting them into the team. His best team is he can get out on the pitch until he can get players in, and then he can move Aarons across to the right back. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm wanting to see that. I don't want to see another season of Tavernier as a starting right back, and Hefty and Aarons playing as left back, and then Aarons switching over as a right back when Tav's either injured or he falls out of form and he's not on the team. It's something that needs to be addressed now this summer. We can't go another season with this and on about Tavernier being in the team. He needs to be a backup. Do you know what I mean? That's where I sit on it. So I think it comes back to quality, and we haven't got the players in that Russell Martin wants in. So he's having to play the team that we've seen the last 2 games. I don't think that's not his ideal team. I don't think he goes on Aarons is best on the left, and that's where I want to play him. I think he's just out of necessity. That's where he's putting him. But Hefty, when he came on, he's full of running. I think when he first came in, that's what you see. He's full of running. He gets you forward, and then you get Aarons in the right back slot. That's going to help it a lot because, like you say, when he was in his natural position, he affects the game more. But I think when he's in the he's in the left back position. He's not really effective, and it's not really fair to start a guy, even if he's here for a season's loan, in an unfamiliar position, but a not natural position. It's not going to utilise his qualities. So I think we need to address that ASAP and get another left back in so that Aarons can jump to the right back.
Yeah, look, I'm happy for Jeffy to play X amount of games. I've went on record. I've said what I've said about Jeffy. I'm not going to repeat myself, but we do need to get maybe even a more senior left back in there to support Jeffy, so that Jeffy's not playing anywhere near the amount of games that he done last season. Because there is things from my point of view, for whatever my opinion's worth, Mark, that there's things in his game that he has to improve on and that he has to learn. But what we can't do is we can't have him in a position where, regardless of the form he's in, if he's going through a wee downturn and he needs to be taken out of the team, we can't because we don't have anybody else. Because obviously Yilmaz, as far as I'm concerned, or as far as I'm led to believe, is definitely away. He's definitely going. Whether he has anything to do on Saturday, if he's not away by then, maybe if he's in the team, I don't know. But he's definitely going to be on the road out by all accounts. Yeah. So Jeffy can't play the amount of games he played last season. He absolutely can't do that. He needs support. He needs help. But that cannot be Aarons. It cannot be Aarons at left back. We cannot be too afraid to drop Tav and rotate Tav. If Tav plays 20-25 games a season, you might see a better version of him than what you have over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how I'm feeling as well. I think if you've got him 15 to 20, whatever, 25 games a season, because if you include all games, you're looking at 60 plus if we have a good season. So if Tavernier's playing 25 games in that season, I think, like you say, you probably would see a better version of him because he's not expected to play week in, week out, game in, game out. FT, I think FT is definitely raw, so he does need an experience. I could keep going back to experience. He needs an experienced left back in front of him that he can learn off, because I think his defensive side of the game is where he struggles. But obviously that can be taught into him, and if you've got an experienced left back that's there, because Yilmaz, we've not seen him at all, so I don't think he's going to be here much longer. Hopefully, I mean, I wish the lad all the best, but it's not really worked out. But we need a proper, experienced, quality left back, so that having Yefty he plays most of the games, and Yefty can jump in as and when. But it needs to be sorted. I mean, I'm happy with the defensive improvements, i.e., centre back. But we need to sort out, and Aaron's obviously coming in, but we need to sort out these left and right backs, because it's an issue that we don't need to be dragging on, if I'm honest. But I don't think we'll see Yilmaz at the weekend. That'll be an indicator that he's going to go, do you know what I mean? Because I've heard rumours that he's out and he's on his way out, so hopefully they're true.
Yeah, hope so. And obviously we got the €5 million for, I think it was €5 million for progressing last night. So that can hopefully go towards bringing in another player as well. And every bit of money that comes into the club right now, even though we've got rich owners, you still need to balance the books, don't you? So every bit of money that comes in right now is massive, is absolutely massive for the football club. And look, we'll dissect the game probably more tomorrow night, 7 p.m. with your Friday night rabble. And of course, preview Motherwell on Saturday. But I'll just ask you, Mark, then, from where we're sitting on this glorious Thursday afternoon, it has to be said. The sun is shining, it's nice and warm. How are you feeling about the weekend, mate? How are you feeling about Russell Martin's first game in charge? In the league, I should say.
Yeah, I'm confident. I'm confident we're going to have a good start. I mean, I know it's Motherwell and it's away, but I think I'm confident we're going to have a good start. I can't see us dropping points, because I just think the style that he's trying to put out there is going to be more. It's going to be more productive in the SPFL. I think it's just a totally different style from what we've been playing. The pace, the press, the quick, sharp moving of the ball around. I think that's going to be too much for Motherwell. So I'm quite confident that we're going to deal with that game when it comes. So I'm looking forward to it. It seems like it's been forever since the league's been on. So I'm looking forward to another season. Hopefully this time it's a very successful one. What about you? What's your thoughts on it? How are you feeling about the weekend's game?
I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll need to speak to Peter, who is our Motherwell supporting contributor on the Scottish Football Show, because I did go to watch Motherwell against Peterhead in the Premier Sports Cup for obvious reasons. And from what I've seen from Motherwell, it didn't look great. Again, it's their pre-season. I think their manager's coming in with the opinion of, I'm going to play the way that I want to play, and I'm going to play that way against everybody, and that's playing out for the back, intricate passing. It might just suit a Russell Martin style for us. It might just work for us. So I'm really looking forward to Saturday. I just can't wait for the league season to be back and Rangers to be back, and it gives us loads more to talk about. And I'll be really happy once the transfer window's done. See all this talking about rumours and stuff like that. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I mean, it's necessary. It has to be done. We need to do it. But I'd rather the transfer window was done and we can just concentrate and focus on the football, and we know exactly where the team's going to be. But I'm looking forward to Saturday. Albeit it's taking place 5 minutes from my door. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, mate. I really am. But that will do us for today. Apologies for ranting at the beginning, folks. I didn't come on with the intention of ranting, right? But like I say, I should say, by the way, the Rabble report's back tonight at 7:00 with our very own Ian Thompson and Posh Stewart. They'll be doing a kind of season preview, if you like. So that is live tonight at 7 p.m. The first one they've done live. That's on tonight at 7 p.m. And then, of course, for our beautiful, wonderful and lovely members, tonight at 8:30 is the wrestling. The Rabble Wrestling is back tonight at 8:30 as well. Mark, thank you very much, my friend, for joining me.
No worries.
Thank you to everybody watching live on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. Please do leave a like, share, Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're following across all socials. All the links are in the description if you are on YouTube. And if you want to help out more and you want to become a member and get access to loads of extra content whilst helping to support the channel, then the links for that are in the description as well, either YouTube or Patreon. You take your pick, and like I say, choose whatever one you prefer. But that is us for the Afternoon Rabble. Back tonight at 7 p.m. Thank you so much to everybody who's tuned in and listening back, and we shall speak very, very soon.